team, Chris Evans, alongside Dan Evans. We're going to be, this show of late hits coming this week to you is the top 24 rankings in Mad Monk's Fantasy Football League. We got a lot of predictions by our own CEO, Chris Evans, and you know how good his predictions usually are.
Well, his predictions usually suck to begin with, and if he predicted you high, that means you're probably 1-3, possibly 0-4. Chris Crowder Bears. Or if he ranked you in the middle, or towards the end, you're probably 5-0 like Southern Comfort.
So without further ado, let's go to the special edition of the top 24 rankings of Mad Monk's Fantasy Football League.
Top 24 poll for the Commissioner's Points Chase, ranking each team from the bottom to the top, 24th through 1. And we're going to get this off and we're going to go and fast forward, Jeff. Let's go right now. Number 24 ranked team this year going into fantasy football, Mad Monk's Fantasy Football League is
the Uptards.
The Uptards. Of course we are going to rank the Uptards the last ranked team in the league. Looking at the Uptards real fast, of course I'm going to have all my information from you. Never going to be able to find it. But the Uptards, one of the reasons we put them at number 24, they drafted 3 tight ends. You can only start 1. Half the people don't even really need a tight end. But you got Drew Brees, you got 3 starters at running backs. Don't like your receivers in Ocho Cinco and Deshaun Jackson. So that, plus the fact that you guys are rookies, we're going to give you the 24th ranked team in the league.
Don't fit in from them.
Hitting number 23. Who's number 23, Jeff?
The Tack.
The Tack is your 23rd ranked team this year in Mad Monk's Fantasy Football Sports. He's got Matt Hasselbeck at quarterback, who's 62 years old. He's got good running backs. We like Jones Drew. We like Steven Jackson. We even like Donald Brown as his 3rd running backs. But he would be better. He'd be better up digging up Ed Coupon, Chadaritas, and Tom Siren to play wide receiver for him than the receivers he's got on his team. Devin Hester, Roy Williams, and those are the 2 best, right?
Yeah, that's not looking good at all.
The Tack is your 23rd ranked team in Mad Monk's Fantasy Football Sports. Going to number 22, we got
Sweep the Leg.
Sweep the Leg, of course, is a rookie, and because it's a rookie, you're going to be ranked near the bottom. It's going to take you a good learning curve of a year or so to get used to the Mad Monk's Fantasy Football Sports and rules. One of the rules is you don't have to draft 2 kickers and 2 defenses and 2 tight ends every year. You got your good backup there for that bye week, but Sweep the Leg, because you drafted 2 kickers and 2 defenses, we're going to rank you 22 on the year where you at Sweep the Leg. You got Tom Brady, and wow, we're ranking a team with Tom Brady this low. Ray Rice and Steve Slayton are good running backs. Don't like Donald Driver as your 2nd receiver. And you got 2 kickers and 2 defense. Sweep the Leg is number 22. Number 21 is
Right close to
how do we rank a team with Adrian Peterson and Kurt Warner at number 22?
I'll tell you why.
Well, because he's got
Wide receiver problems.
wide receiver problems. Ted Ginn, Derek Mason, Jericho Cotchery. Don't really like any of them this year at wide receiver. Also, he's going to have to rely a little bit on the Jones brothers. Julius and Thomas Jones is one of your other backs to go with AP. AP and Kurt Warner can carry you a long way, but if you get hurt for one of them, you're in deep trouble. That's why the Rifles Colts are 21. Number 20, Jeff.
Black Magic.
He definitely drinks a lot and was drunk before the draft even concluded. And as much as he likes his team this year, I ain't buying Tim Hightower as a 2nd running back, are you?
Not at all.
And who else has he got? Where's Black Magic? Of course, I can't find stuff. Black Magic, Black Magic, Black Magic. Ronnie Brown, Tim Hightower are your running backs. And we know you know Sean. But Matt Shanahan is not the coach of the Denver Broncos anymore, and Bronco running backs don't guarantee 1,000 yards.
I think he's got keeper options. Charles, you're still in the way.
Black Magic, your 20th ranked team of the year. Going to number 19, we got
Angry Pirates.
the Angry Pirates are your 19th ranked team in Mad Monk's Fantasy Sports. Eli Manning at quarterback, Pierre Thomas and Rashad Mendenhall at running backs. We have Larry Johnson too. We're not big fans of Larry Johnson, but you're going to have to rely on them. Thomas a little banged up. Mendenhall hasn't proved anything yet. Lee Evans is one of your wide receivers, and Lee Evans is on a team that just fired their offensive coordinator because they couldn't figure out how to run an offense because they said it was too complex. And that's why, Angry Pirates, you are number 19. Number 18 is
Short Fat Bastards.
you drafted the worst team in all of Mad Monk's Fantasy Football at the draft. Actually, I got to give you credit. You got a couple nice keeper options going there. D'Angelo Williams and Michael Turner are good running backs. Problem is, they're your 2 best players on your team, and they got a tough schedule coming out 2009. Playing against the NFC East and the AFC East or North, whatever. Tough defenses that they didn't face last year, they're facing this year. Short, fat bastards, what else you got on your team? Well, you've got Eli Manning at quarterback who will win you games, but not fantasy games. You've got Terrell Owens at wide receiver, and he's on that same Buffalo Bills team that just fired their offensive coordinator. And you got to rely a little bit on Vincent Jackson, who has kind of never really, we're waiting for him to have his breakout year, but we've been waiting on that for like 5 years now.
That's not happening.
Number 18 is the short, fat bastards. That means number 17 is
Southern Comfort.
Southern Comfort. Of course, the Evans brothers got to be right there next to each other towards the bottom of the list. Matt Schaub is your quarterback. You got to love your running backs. You've got Larry Johnson and Ryan Westbrook.
You know what you're going to get out of them? That's about it.
Backed up by Jamal Lewis and Julius Jones.
No guessing game. Not a big deal. You know what you're going to get out of those two guys.
Yeah, that's 24 yards on 15 carries and a fumble, and maybe you hope for him to get in the end zone. Anquan Bolden and Santonio Holmes are your wide receivers. I like it. Antonio Gates is your tight end, but your running back questions a little bit. Westbrook's going to lose some carries. That's why Southern Comfort is number 17. Number 16.
Hey, Beer Man.
Hey, Beer Man. We actually like what you did with your wide receivers. Not the ones you picked early, but the ones you picked late. Don't like Hines Ward, don't like Roy Williams, and I'm a Cowboy fan. Not a big fan of Jericho Cotchery. I think your top 2 receivers are going to be Lavernius Coles and Lance Moore. You got some good running backs. You're going to have to be able to choose from Brandon Jacobs, Frank Gore, and Beanie Wells. Jay Cutler's your quarterback on the Bears with nobody to throw it to. That's why Hey Beerman is 16th and in middle of the pack. Moving on to number 15.
Ham Sandwich.
Ham Sandwich. We picked you to go 7-7 at the draft. And always go to reverse of what I picked, which is 7-7. So we're gonna throw you right dead smack in the middle of the BS poll. Ham Sandwich, you got your quarterbacks, Matt Ryan and Brett Favre. Ken Ryan do it 2 years in a row playing against tougher defenses. Derek Ward is one of your running backs, and the day after the draft was announced that Cadillac Williams was starting for the Tampa Bay Bucks.
That stings a little bit.
I know you're hoping Glenn Coffey will get some carries in San Francisco, but if that's the case, that means you lost Frank Gore and you're a 49 fan, so you probably don't want that. Love your receivers, Randy Moss, Steve Smith, and Dallas Clark, but I think this passing team is going to have to rely on the receptions to do it, and that's why Ham Sandwich is number 15. Number 14.
Crimson Glory.
Crimson Glory. Phillip Rivers is your quarterback. You could have had Maurice Jones-Drew, but you settled for Clinton Portis, your Redskin homer. Willie Parker is your other pick that you got in that draft for the trade for Maurice Jones-Drew. It's a good thing you got that extra pick so you can get a running back who's going to be on the bench by week 3. Fred Jackson is going to be your other starter. That'll last you for 3 weeks, and then you lose him and Parker at the same time. I like your receivers. Greg Jennings will catch 80-some passes. Wes Welker will catch 100 passes. And I can't read my writing on that, but I think it's Antonio Holmes. Chris Cooley will also get you some receptions, but your running backs are going to kill you. You're going to be kicking yourself right in the rear end for trading Maurice Jones-Drew. And that's why Crimson Glory is number 14. Number 13 is Team Ruggy. We had to put Ruggy one spot ahead of Toby just so they can argue about each other back and forth of who's better according to the Evans poll, which they are going to totally destroy anyways.
I can't wait.
Team Ruggy's got Peyton Manning. Team Ruggy's got some decent receivers. We like Santana Moss. He will catch a lot of passes even though he always goes late in drafts. Steve Smith, your other receiver. Kevin Smith was a good draft day trade to get you a go-to running back. And actually like your running backs. McFadden he dropped in everyone's minds, but he's still a top 5 pick from last year. You got yourself Marshawn Lynch, who will be a starter in week 3. For that reason, you are a middle-of-the-road team, and that's why we got you pretty much dead smack in the middle of the row, going to number 2.
All right, that's all the time we had this week for the power rankings in the Mad Monks Fantasy Football League. Be sure to catch part 2 of the special edition of the ranking show. I'm Jeff Evans, and for Dan Evans, we're out for late hits.
Later.